Richard Dawkins, I defeated his best argument easily there. And again, I'm not boasting because anyone can take down a paper tiger. They're made of paper. Will Lie, the sci-fi guy. Carl Sagan, because, he demonstrates in this video, you check it out, he demonstrates that scientists are in it for the money. He is willing to lie to people to get money because he knows that selling global warming will get him money. And he was willing to stoop to the lie that the sun cannot make you hotter if you're closer to it. He actually said that in that video. So he's an idiot for lying. Even if he didn't believe that shit, that idiotic assertion of his, he's still an idiot because he's lying to people and he's going to pay for it in hell. Actually, he's dead now, isn't he? And then there's this guy, a particularly vile specimen of atheist self-righteousness. George Carlin was a hypocrite, liar, and idiot. Check that out, less than a minute long. Now this guy pretended to be an atheist, but for the sake of argument, let's treat him as one. I proved that he's literally worse than Hitler. Because atheism justifies all evil. Because nature made me do it. I'm just a physical thing. I'm a puppet of physics. Physics made me do it. Does a domino choose where it falls? Does a human choose who he rapes? Who he steals from? No, of course not. Nature made me do it. Atheism, I love you. You justify everything I can do. Ricky Gervais lying about atheism. Ricky Gervais is an atheist liar. Or pretends to be an atheist, rather. Nietzsche ist tot. Gott ist groß. Checkmated atheist says, you're wrong because I can't think. One of the stupidest atheist arguments. You're an atheist for rejecting most gods. You have only one home, so you're homeless. You have only one God, so you're an atheist. Same illogic. You guys are not very smart. You have to keep repeating that you're smart because you're not. 3 atheists attacked just to get checkmated fast. Almost no one saw these videos, but they prove how impotent you guys are. And it's honest. Then who made God? Atheists will regurgitate this argument, and they believe that's a powerful argument, but it's actually nonsense. Because you're trying to apply rules to where they don't apply, as I proved there. Does a golfer have to follow football rules? No. Does a supernatural entity have to be subject to natural laws? Well, it's supernatural. Of course it's not subject, whether you like it or not. Destiny and choice, no contradiction. Prove nature couldn't have always existed. Some atheists resort to saying that nature always existed in order to say that there's no need for a creator. But I refute them there. Occam's razor doesn't cut it. Some atheists say, oh, only the simplest explanation has to be right. Well, that's an assumption. Heathen tries to use the Bible against God but fails miserably. Flat earth, not biblical, because people say, oh, the Bible teaches a flat earth, it's so anti-science. Actually, you don't even know what you're talking about because the Bible doesn't teach that the earth is flat, as I explained there. How could Adam and Eve have known it was evil before taking the fruit that gave knowledge of good and evil? I explained there. This propagandist of Satan claimed that Genesis contradicted itself. Does the first law of thermodynamics refute creation by God? I explained there how it does not refute that. When an atheist barks Bronze Age myths, as Hitchens was fond of doing, refuting the claim that the Bible is plagiarized myths, atheist sky daddy mockery shows they know nothing. Atheist false equivalency fallacy, comparing God to the tooth fairy, refuted. Refutation of the lie that all Bible translations are like Chinese whispers. How the Bible explains kangaroos in Australia from Noah's Ark. Ah, you thought kangaroos proved the Bible wrong, but you're actually ignorant atheists. Atheist propaganda in Age of Empires exposed, showing the propaganda. Age of Mythology, atheism expansion. You see, they have to lie about history to promote atheism because atheism doesn't have the truth on its side. And now refuting atheist claims to be good, moral, upstanding people. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Atheism says we are beasts, and accidental beasts at that, and that physics makes us do everything, which would make guilt impossible, which would justify literally and absolutely, without exception, every crime imaginable, and that's no exaggeration. But Hitchens and other preachy atheist fanatics are hypocrites, acting as if people have choices.
We are an animal species.
Right.
We are programmed to reproduce. Men particularly are programmed to inseminate. They can't, so to speak, help it.
I always believe the lie that evolution is truth, the theory of evolution is truth, that we all just came from the slime, and when we died, you know, that was it. There was nothing. So the whole theory cheapens life, and started reading books about that show how evolution is just a complete lie. There's no basis in science to uphold it, and I've since come to believe that that the Lord Jesus Christ is the true creator of the heavens and the earth. It just didn't just happen. I had drifted away from a belief in a supreme being, and I never, as a result, passed along the feeling that we are all accountable. If a person doesn't think that there is a God to be accountable to, then what's the point of trying to modify your behavior to keep it within acceptable ranges? That's how I thought, anyway.
Chinese people have lost their manners. Cut in line at the gas station, cut in line in a Japanese airport. This is a Chinese couple causing a scene in a matcha shop in San Francisco. It's the reality that mainland Chinese people, they have no manners because they've lost them due to the CCP. They deliberately destroy the culture and all of its traditional teachings. It was once built on mannerism and self-respect and morals. Now it's ruining the cherry blossoms for others. You wonder why Chinese people behave like this? Blame the Communist Party.
I have a challenge. If it's to be argued that our morality, our ethics can be derived from the supernatural, then name me an action, a moral action, taken by a believer, or a moral statement uttered by one, that could not have been made or uttered by an infidel, an unbeliever. But if I was to ask you, can you think of a wicked action that could only have been performed by someone who believed they were on an errand from God? There isn't one of you who would take 10 seconds to think of an example.
Of course I can answer that. Hitchens, what moral thing can a religious person do which an atheist cannot do? Gratitude to the Creator, of course. No atheist is grateful. All atheists are ingrates. Ingratitude is evil. There is no good atheist. Not one of you is, except babies, but they grow up. Because atheism is a default position of ignorance. It takes no intelligence to be an atheist. And then as for what wicked thing can a religious person do that an atheist could not do, look at obviously not all religious people are the same. I'm not like the alleged terrorists that supposedly hit the World Trade Center. The United States, the divided snakes, did that to itself. It fell demolition style because it was a demolition, a controlled demolition. And there were explosions, and there's evidence of it. If you look into it, the videos are on YouTube, and elsewhere. You can see for yourself instead of just accept what the TV says. But of course, atheists don't question what they're taught, except a few on that regard. Anyway, the point is, for the sake of argument, if Muslims did that, which they didn't, it was the US. If Muslims did that, atheists can also do that. But obviously their reason wouldn't be for Allah. Their reason would be because they hate people. So yeah, atheists can also crash planes. Look at the high school Columbine massacre. It was by atheist fanatics. So yeah, there, I answered his challenge easy. So his challenge is pathetic. He's a paper tiger. Atheist admits he wants religious people murdered. Yeah, you guys are so moral, alright. Oh, but the Crusades, those were heretics. They worship Mary. Read the Bible, get a clue. Epicurus defeated, the problem of evil solved. Which, of course, other people have done. I'm not the only one. But I tried to make it clear here. And here, atheist checkmated after blaming God for all evil. Another atheist checkmated the solved problem of evil's existence. Atheists on morality, you guys shouldn't even open your mouth. Atheists more moral due to underrepresentation in prisons in an atheist country, an atheistic secular country like the divided snakes of America. No, your argument is nonsense and takes out of context, as I explained there. Some pagan accuses me of forcing my religion onto others. She lied because she's an atheist.